Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Whole Woman Podcast. In case you're watching, you'll see that I am in my favorite Halloween costume for walking around the block, watching my little people scamper from door to door. I am in my grown son's leather jacket with my cute little hair and my favorite red lipstick. My friend Rachel
Is not in a costume, and we'll discuss why.
is obviously much cooler than I am,
No.
looking gorgeous in her teal color. But today we're going to talk about costumes, candy, and chaos. Our version of Halloween on the Whole Woman podcast with Kim and Rachel. Hi, friend. How are you?
Good. You look adorable. You belong in the movie Grease right now.
Thanks. That was what I was shooting for.
Are you going to sing to us?
Heck no, but I'm going to get rid of this coat. You
Okay.
tell everyone about your favorite Halloween memories.
See, that's the thing. I am not a Halloween person. I hate dressing up, even as a kid. I think I went as a baby every year for 10 years because I just don't like costumes. I don't like feeling constricted. I just don't like going through all that hoopla. And when someone invites me to a Halloween or a costume, no. And not that I've never been, I've done it all, but I just don't ever feel comfortable. It's just not something I enjoy. And I know that there are people who go balls to the walls with costume, and it's cool to look at. I wish I had that whatever I'm trying to say. I wish I had that skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite holiday, which is interesting because I've now learned that there's a huge difference between loving fall, which I do because my pumpkin tablecloth says it all, and
Mhm.
my orange phone case. But I love fall. I love it. I can't wait to see orange everywhere.
Yeah.
But I could care less about Halloween. I hate it.
So your pumpkins don't have smiley faces in them, huh?
I don't do jack-o'-lanterns. See, that's the diff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like jack-o'-lanterns. I want orange pumpkins. And even my mom was here a couple years ago. She was like, pumpkins come in other colors. And I was like, do they? I don't care. For me, pumpkins are orange, and that's what's happening. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, well,
I know. Do you think I
all
have a
right.
strong opinion about this?
I don't love Halloween. It's by far not my favorite holiday, but I so loved like I have these incredible memories of when I was a girl. And I was the third oldest of six girls, right?
Oh
So
my Lord.
on
How do I not know this about you?
oh, not in my family. I mean, like these were my
Oh, okay.
cousins. So,
Okay.
so my mom had one brother, and he got married at a similar time to my mom and my dad, and he had four girls, and my parents had two girls, and we did everything together. And the older two would always, I mean, like they were always just that step ahead, right? And Lisa and Jelaine were just enough older that they always got to do the things I wanted to do. So then like I graduated as number three and I got to go with them when my mom and my aunt went with the little girls. And I'd get to run around and they lived in the best neighborhood. It's like it had houses all around. It was a circle. So like you entered into this development and it went all the way up, like half a mile up and half a mile down, and there were houses on both sides of this circle.
Oh, wow.
You'd
Peters.
run the outer circle and then
Yeah.
you'd come back and you'd run the inner circle. And if you were having a really great Halloween, you'd drop off your stash at Aunt Connie's house before you did the inner circle, you know? I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it was so much fun. And then we'd
Yeah.
sit there and they'd always have hot chocolate and dinner, usually chili, something when we get back, and we'd divvy out the candy. And it was just so much fun. And and I remember the costumes always being like the big girls. I always wanted the big girls didn't wear stupid costumes like with those plastic masks where you couldn't, like you feel like Darth Vader trying to breathe through the little teeny tiny hole.
Yeah.
Mom always seemed to dress me up as Casper, the friendly ghost. And I get just far enough away from her. that I ditched the mask and just run around in like the cute little pajama sort of things. But
Yeah.
so like I don't love the holiday. I'm not about the, but I loved that time with my cousins.
Yeah.
I have such good memories. And then once I became a mom, I loved that time with the boys too. And so like I just went from being in the dorky, I put them in the dorky Casper costumes or
Yeah.
Darth Vader or Teletubbies or whatever the thing was.
God, yeah.
And then I would wear my husband's jacket and whack my hair up in a pony and put on my bright red lipstick and put my coffee in a travel mug and walk the block with the boys. And it just it brings back really good memories of time with my people. So,
I love that for you. That's amazing. And it's, I mean, you can genuinely see it in your face that it was just such a nice time for you. So I am happy for you. But let's talk about the candy. Is
I
there anything that you did not like in your stash or your haul, whatever you want to call it? When you opened that bag and you saw a box of effing raisins from your neighbor Martha, were you just like, fuck you?
oh yeah, maybe. I don't yeah. I didn't like when people would throw apples in there or those stupid, oh, there were these things. Like that they came on paper dots. They were called dots. Like
Okay.
there was a piece of paper and they were like little hard candies that were,
Oh,
and
yeah, like
like
in a strip, and they were like, okay, yeah. I don't know the point of those
yeah.
either.
And my cousins, they loved, I didn't like pixie sticks.
Mm.
I think I got this message in my head from my mom because she always told me that, I mean, like people can open those. You shouldn't have. Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. So my cousins liked them, so I always gave them my pixie sticks in exchange for an almond joy or a Tootsie Roll. Like Tootsie Rolls are the bomb,
Oh,
the bomb.
of course I've had a Tootsie Roll. I don't,
You gotta get one Halloween time. Somehow, the ones that are like the size of your thumb that are meant
yeah,
for trick-or-treating, they're like
yeah.
always fresh. They are so good.
So in regards to the ones that are on the shelf normally, they're 18 years old. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Well,
You gotta feel the bag up and make sure they're soft and squishy.
it's been, I'm 50, almost 54, and you're 24. It's been a long time since we've trick-or-treated. So God knows what they're passing out these days.
We have now it's like people trunk or treat, right? It's like you go to these a parking lot, like churches put on a trunk or treat so people feel safe when they
Huh.
do it in broad daylight and nobody's running around on Halloween anyway anymore, it seems, which is, safe and responsible and blah blah blah, but it's kind of taking the fun out of it, I feel like.
So I have two stories I want to share
Yeah.
because when I moved to New York City, and I remember asking him, how do the kids trick or treat here? Because I think one of the most famous parades that take place in New York City is the Halloween one
Mhm.
for adults. For adults. But I was just curious. I asked somebody, I was like, well, how do the kids trick or treat? And in the neighborhoods, all the storefronts and the restaurants, you buy candy for the kids and they can go in and out, as opposed to trick or treating in apartment buildings. Now, that's not always the case, but that's kind of how it's done, which I found interesting. But I do remember a fun memory when I was a little kid and I was still trick or treating. I had as a pet a little toy poodle. His name was Chocolate because he was dark brown. And I was a latchkey kid. So I would always come home from school by myself, and me and Chocolate would hang out and do my homework. And one day after Halloween, my mom had this big clay vase on her shelf, and he kept going to it, like going to the vase. And I was like, the hell? I didn't pay any attention, but he did it like 5 times. So I finally go over to the vase and I look inside. My mom had stashed all my Halloween candy in there, thinking that I wouldn't see it and I wouldn't eat it. And he ratted her ass out.
I love that.
Yeah, and I tell her that story all the time. I was like, you tried to hide my candy from me, and it didn't work out for you. But I thought that was so cute. Like he smelt it and he's like, go get it, girl.
I love that. I love that. So, so you didn't love dressing up, and I get that. Like as an adult now, if somebody were to invite me to a Halloween party, I would do just what I did here. I'd throw my hair up and I'd wear a coat because I'm not gonna get I'm not going all out. But
No.
boy, when I did for a couple years, like when I was in high school, we'd do parties instead of trick or treating, right? And so then, like, I'm a little older than you. So, like, my high school years, Madonna was the thing and all that. So, everybody would show up with their hair like all poofed and all of their funky rhinestones and bustiers and I mean just it was a blast. But I had so much fun as a mom dressing my kids up.
I
So
bet.
yeah, you didn't. So you said you went as a baby. What does that mean? Because in my mind, that means like
Like
naked in a
I
diaper.
threw put my stupid hair. Yeah, I made a fake diaper and I put my stupid hair in pigtails, got a pacifier or a baby bottle, and I was like, I am a baby. I really could care less. I
That
really hated it. It was just not my jam. But also too, I lived in a very safe neighborhood growing up, but I think, when you go trick or treating, I was getting to the age where your parents didn't need to be with you. You could go with a group of friends.
right?
And I don't know. I don't know what it was. I was like, is this too time consuming? Is this like, I don't know what it was about the whole act of trick or treating. It was just really not something I was into. And then I remember like the older kids would do it. I'm like, why are you doing this?
Mhm.
Don't you have other fun shit to do? But I understand, especially for moms. I think and it's so cute when my client tells me, I ask her every year, I'm like, what do your boys want to be? Because she hand makes their costumes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so I think that if that's something that you enjoy and you want to do it, love it. But yeah, it's just not my thing. But I do want to talk about where maybe some moms just feel a little overwhelmed. I mean, they have full-time jobs, they have to take care of the kids and then make their costumes on top of that. Like, how is that something that you had to deal with?
No, I didn't make them. Having that dreaded experience as a child with those stupid masks. I didn't buy those things for my kids. We'd find clothing that was safe, that they wouldn't trip over, that I mean like that actually fit them, and they would wear that. And then like a lot of times I do things with makeup, or when they got older they liked the stupid character masks that people completely pull over their head, like that looks like Albert Einstein or a werewolf or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I had nothing to do with that. My favorite one was I put Zach, my oldest, in like one of my shirts. It was like black and silky and buttoned it up. Do you remember the show? I've totally lost it. It'll come to me. It'll come to me once we're done recording. There was a woman, she had super, super short red hair and she wore black glasses. And I can see her. She's like, oh, what is the word? Anyway, I dressed him up. He looked just like her. Just like, I mean, like I went out of my way to make my kids look like other people. It was just fun.
Do they have identity crises now?
No, 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 no. No, the
Who are
weakest
you
link.
talking
The
about?
weakest link. Okay, so there's a show
Oh,
now called The Weakest Link, but the
was
original,
it Sharon Osbourne?
was it? I don't know.
I don't know.
She had almost a buzz cut, and it was red and little black glasses, and oh, he looked so good, so good.
Do you have like pictures of all these costumes?
Oh yeah, but yeah, I like them to still talk to me, so I'm not going to show this public.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I know I'm probably don't think my mom has any Halloween costumes. But what she does have, for whatever reason, is me like, naked as a baby. I'm like, is there a purpose for this?
Yeah, right. To share the memories with you as you grow up. But you're 100% right. It's like one big, huge source of anxiety for so many moms and dads, whatever, for so many parents to accommodate their kids with what they want to be for Halloween. And life is already busy and people are already stressed out and costumes are expensive or they're not safe, or not safe, I just mean like there's all these parts and pieces, and you get somebody running down the street with a bucket of candy in their hand, and if they start to fall, they're going to focus on the candy, not on protecting themselves. So I don't know. It's plus like they trick or treat at the end of a long work day. Everybody's just I just feel like I don't know. People don't love it the way I got to love it. So
I agree with that. I was just kind of, when you were answering, I was kind of thinking about it. I bet you Halloween has changed so drastically from when we were kids to now. So
mhm,
yeah, I really can't relate to the topic as much because it's been so long. And
yeah.
I really don't have a lot of friends with kids. My bestie does, but I think he's old enough that he goes trick or treating around the neighborhood with his friends. And but as a family unit, like dad, mom, and the kid, they always dress up. So the husband picks a theme. So I think this year it's the Addams family. So he'll be, and she'll be, and he'll be, something like that.
I
Yeah.
love that.
She sends me the pictures every year, and I mean, they always look so cute. So I appreciate the effort. I do. I just don't want to do it for myself.
Yeah. Like I see pictures, people like we were talking about the trunk or treat thing, right? Where like it's a parking lot, people aren't going to get run over by a car or whatever. And I have these friends and they decorate the whole inside of their trunk or the back of their van to be like it coordinates with the costumes and the theme and all this. And it's just so much fun to watch people get into it. I'm just not going to get into it anymore. I'll hand out candy all day long, but
Yeah.
and maybe I'll feel different when the 1 and the 2 year old are dressing up. I might be revived, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's take a little
Okay. I always love that.
yeah, nutritionist, former gym owner, personal trainer. We've talked about this before, but Halloween was like the beginning of punish yourself season, right?
Mhm.
And so I would post this big thing. I think we talked about it a couple episodes ago, but I'd post this big thing on the wall with all of the candy and what you had to do to burn the calories. And I think it's just the beginning of the wicked season for people when they think about, I don't know, things that they really love and the restrictions they put on themselves as adults now that they can't have those things they really love.
Or it's more like I'm going to eat everything in sight, but I'm going to punish myself on repeat.
Yeah.
So I think most of those, and me included, I would go all year without eating those things. And then because it was in front of me constantly, whether it was at work or school or other friends' houses, and it would just be like a Hoover
Mhm.
and just like 18 little mini Snickers, because that only equates to one full-size Snicker. And you just go through your mind and you're just justifying. Oh, it's only one night, but it's not. Like you said, from now until January 1st, it is a big deal for people who are overly critical about their bodies, overly critical about what they eat, who don't have good relationships with both of those things, their body and or food. And this time of year is tough because you're justifying, you're punishing, you're over analyzing the things that you're putting in your mouth. And I know what I want to tell our listeners, but I want to hear from you. Like, what would you tell someone who is just like in their head about this time of year?
I tell them to enjoy it. That's what I did with my kids too. I worked my practice like I parented. So Halloween had come along and we'd have this big bucket of candy in the house. And I have friends who would let the kids pick out like 5 treats and throw the rest away, which to me seemed ridiculous. And other people who would like exchange their candy at the dentist office for money. Like why? So my boys got to pick something that went in their lunchbox every day. They get to take a treat to school because we packed lunch. And I would say the same thing to you or to a client or to anyone. It's like if it's there and if you love it, then have it. But but have it in the rhythm of your normal day so that like it's not a binge and purge. It's not a,
Mhm.
I mean, like it's not, I'm gonna inhale all of this and then I'm gonna beat myself up for a week, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, like if there's a bag of Snickers in the pantry, you know, I might open the pantry up one day when I haven't eaten, maybe when I'm hungry. Like I don't love Snickers, but there it is. I might have one. Well, so what? So what? Because I mean, I'm not going to eat 15 of them because I let myself have it whenever the heck I want to, you know?
I think that's for me, was the cure of being a binger is when I had that mentality of this kind of stuff is not allowed in my home, or if it was, I'm going to eat the whole bag. Those fears that we put on ourselves, we make come true, right? Because that item is just so scarce in our everyday life. But when I did stop doing that to myself and just allowed myself a treat when I really wanted a treat, it didn't matter if it was in my house or not in my house. I didn't feel like it was a bad thing. That association with it wasn't like, I have to sneak it, or if I eat the whole bag. I mean, it's just that stress that we put on ourselves about eating the bad thing, it's just it's exhausting. It really is. And when you heal your relationship with food, and that means all foods, your approach to it is different. And I think that I will never get tired of talking about this. And, I have to check myself all the time because I don't want to come across preachy. But, we as humans, because of our lifestyles since the 80s, have essentially lived on an ultra processed diet. And you have to choose in this time of our lives if that's the way you're going to continue to live, or are you going to switch back to whole foods? So that's where we're at.
That is a great segue into something else I want to talk about. So, Halloween night arrives, and mom and dad get home from work, and the kids are chomping at the bit, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, right? And they want to run. It's so easy to just forget about dinner or run through a drive-through, which is okay sometimes. I mean, maybe it becomes a whole treat day, or whatever. But one of the things that really seemed to help with my people when we were still trick-or-treating is I would put something in the crock pot that morning. They
Mhm.
would eat. They'd always eat really fast and they'd never eat as much as they normally did, but they would have a bowl of goulash, or they'd have some lasagna, or they'd have a cup of stew or chili because mom made them eat before we'd go trick-or-treating. And that kept everybody from over snacking on the candy and then the sugar high and the temper tantrum and the not wanting to go to bed and all of the things
Yep.
happened. I just think sometimes a little bit of preparation can take what is chaotic and terrible and awful in your life and make it a normal day.
Absolutely. Every mom in the world, whether you love to cook or you don't, should have something like that. A crock pot, an Instapot, a air fryer, convection. I mean, have one piece that, like you said, you can throw something in it and literally put on a timer and forget it. And then you're right, you have dinner, whether it's a quick dinner or it's a sit down dinner, depending on what your family does. But having a meal doesn't take away from the little treats that you get to have later in the evening. It's your foundation. You got to have that food because it does prevent the kids from getting hangry and cranky and, surviving off candy. And again, one night is not a bad thing, but if you're talking about your mental wellness and how you would like the evening to go, giving your kids and giving yourself that time to have dinner before trick or treating is a great idea. Thank you, Kimmy.
And it saves you from total meltdown and ruining the memory for your kids when you get home. I was thinking about this the other day. and
Mhm.
what makes the memories so great from my childhood. And it was really my mom, my dad worked third shift, so did my uncle, so they were never there. All my memories are just my mom and my aunt. But they'd make something, I mean, it'd be ready to go. We'd eat afterwards. But like there was we gave up the expectation. They let go of the this is bedtime, this is whatever. And so all my memories are good because like I had all this fun and it didn't stop. Like
Yeah.
it stopped when I went to bed. It didn't stop when I walked in the door at 6:30 or 7 o'clock and now we got to get dinner. Now we got to do homework. And now my mom is yelling at me because I had too much sugar and I'm not being a good kid. I mean, like it was just the whole thing was good. And so one of my goals as a parent was always my parent and even now as a wife and just trying to be a good person. Trying not I'm trying not to blow a good time by being a pain in the rear when I get home. Yes, I may be tired. Yes, I may be hungry. Yes, I may be whatever. But if I just keep my mouth shut and if I just am a little prepared, then I don't have to be cranky. I can keep the good time rolling because I'm not a grump. So,
I gotcha. I mean, I think that's a great plan. I think that's a great idea, but it does take some practice to get to know who you are, especially as someone who gets hangry real fast. Like it's not anyone else's responsibility to get me something to eat. So if there's something happening, let's just use Halloween as an example. If I were to be going out with friends or trick or treating or whatever, it's like there better be a snack in my bag because I know that I'm gonna need something to eat around 6:30.
mm,
So if dinner is not happening till later, then I have to take care of myself. And I didn't realize for so many years letting myself get hangry, what a biatch I could get and be, and really kind of bring down everything because I was so hungry. Yeah, it's interesting. I have never been a bigger proponent of getting to know your body and your eating schedule because hangry is not cute.
no, and it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Like I've shared as my examples for so long, watching my grandsons, like they're too young to just stomp their foot and demand something. Like they're acting in response to a physical need,
Yeah.
whether it's tired or hungry or not feeling well, whatever it is. But yeah, hangry is real. And so like just like but if you don't provide it, if you don't set it up, they're gonna sneak the candy and then they're gonna be like flipping terrors
Oh my
because they're on
God.
a sugar high. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Rachel, I wish that we should live closer so we could go trick or treating. We could dress
Wow.
up. It'd be fun. I just like vegetables, man. I can make you love this.
Oh my God, to be a big old head of broccoli, that would be kind of fun, actually.
Never
Uh,
thought about that.
yeah.
Friend, do you put out can do you let kids come to your door? Do you keep your light on?
Interestingly enough, I've lived in apartment buildings my whole adult life, and that has never really been a thing. I don't worry about that. And we don't have a lot of kids here in this building, so they don't do that. But again, the shops downtown on Main Street, they all tell the kids, come on in, and they have candy for them. And there's so many beautiful neighborhoods here that I'm
Mhm.
sure they're not wanting candy at the end of Halloween. I'm sure they got it covered.
Gotcha. If you did have the light on, what would you buy? What would be in your
Raisins. No, just kidding. Totally kidding. Can you imagine? Um,
No.
I'd go get one of those giant bags of assorted shit from Costco and be like, here, just take it.
Don't you have one candy that you love the most?
Oh, for sure. There's three. When I was a kid, I loved a whatchamacallit. Do you remember those?
Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
I didn't realize it came in flavors. I
Yeah.
only knew of the chocolate kind.
Like they're all covered with chocolate, but
Yeah.
the nougat inside they have chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry.
Are we
Whatchamacallit?
talking about the? I don't
No,
think we're
we're
talking about
not
the same.
talking about the same thing.
You're
Don't
talking
start
about
with
a
me.
Charleston chew.
I'm
Yeah, those. I did not
I
like
got
those.
the Carolinas on my mind.
Oh, okay. No, whatchamacallit was
I know.
essential. Oh, okay, you remember?
Seven.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Okay.
love that. I'm a Twix girl and I love Snickers.
Mm, mm.
So those were my three go-tos.
If you were gonna hand out candy, would you buy something you liked so that you could have the leftovers, or would you buy something you didn't like so that you felt inclined to give it all away?
I don't know. I have to ponder that question because I think chocolate calls to me. And so even unless it was an almond joy, I probably would eat it no matter what.
You don't like almond joys? I feel so sad.
First of all, I know I have to make an exception to a Snickers because they have peanuts in them, but I just don't dig nuts in my chocolate. Like almond joys, whatever else comes with nuts. Why? Why are you ruining the sugar for me?
Almond joys got nuts. Mounds don't. You could always have the mounds. Do you like coconut?
No,
Neither is my daughter-in-law. And
no.
I'm surrounded by people who don't get good chocolate things. Yeah,
There's plenty of good chocolate out there that
I
doesn't
know.
have nuts or coconut.
Yeah. I mean, like really, truly now. I just want really good chocolate and maybe like some salted caramel.
Hell yes. Hell, you know what I want to learn how to make, and I have this recipe. I've had it for over a year,
Mhm.
is to make your own, dark chocolate dipped salted caramel. And
Mhm.
honestly, I've watched the video a couple times. It doesn't look that hard. It's just a matter of the things you need, the timing, the
Mhm.
storing of it. So we'll have to see.
My husband likes toffee. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, all right. I would buy things that I don't like to eat. I always give away the things my husband likes to eat so that if they're left over, he has treats and I'm not tempted. Because
Got it.
chocolate talks to me too. And I eat it when I like it, but that's it. So, anyway, well, this has been fun. This has been
A
fun.
little trip down memory lane.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna have several of those in the next coming months because I have so many good memories of the Burr months. The Burr months are my favorite months for a very good reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but thanks for talking about costumes and candy and chaos with me.
Anytime, my friend. I love talking to you.
Yeah, all right. Well, I don't remember what are we talking about next week? Do you remember?
Why are you quizzing me?
Oh.
Do we? Okay. We're talking about something else extraordinarily entertaining, everybody. So tune in.
Does anyone out there have friends like us? I hope not. Tune in
I
again.
hope so. What are you talking about? We are
Oh,
the best.
they want them to I want them to count on us for this fun and entertainment.
Oh.
So if you like this show, share it with a friend who needs to laugh every once in a while and needs an occasional good tip. And subscribe because we're feeling so sad with, you know, well, we have 6 subscribers as of right now. Is that incredible or what? 6 people loved us enough to
Thank
click
you.
subscribe. And so we're so very grateful for them. But if you love this, if you laugh at us, if you share it just because you want to make fun of us, that's okay. Subscribe and stay in touch.
You've got to hear these crazy chicks talk about Halloween candy. Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
do it.
All right, friend. I will see you next week when we talk about something fabulous.
Of course. Have a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.